edition of the VU Amsterdam, where we hear all about visa, housing, admissions, and more in the next, 30 to 45 minutes or so. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today, and I will briefly explain to you how this works. First of all, you have the option to write questions. So we like to hear from you, and you can write your questions at the panel called Q&A. And when you write them, please hit submit, and then they will be sent to us, and we will be answering the questions later at the end. And this is for the live audience. Now, for the people that are watching the recording, you can also write your questions. You can do that as well. Of course, we cannot take these questions right in this session. However, they will be captured and sent through to the people at VU Amsterdam, and they will come back to you later. What else you see on your screen? You see a couple of options of resources as well. We prepared some useful links for you, especially to the website of the VU in Amsterdam, but also on things on how to apply and to get some more background information about the programs they offer. So I would advise you to check that out later, because of course now we like to start with the session as you join in to hear about the presentations. And we have a panel of four presenters with us, and they will briefly introduce themselves. And I'd like to hand it over to Claire. Thank you, and good luck.
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm working as housing officer at the university at the international office. So if you have any questions about housing, student accommodation, then you can contact us.
And then we have Agnieszka.
Hi, welcome everybody. Yes, welcome everybody. So my name is Agnieszka, and I work actually together with Claire in the service system of international office, and I'm responsible for scholarship for international students.
Hello and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Emma and I'm studying my master's at the VU Amsterdam since August 2020.
Thank you, Emma, and everyone. Hello, my name is Stipo Jelic. I'm the team leader of the admissions team here at the International Office. And together with 20 of our international student advisors, we are responsible for all the admissions into our English bachelor and master programs. I will start with a presentation about the Netherlands, Amsterdam, and of course, specifically about Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. So first, welcome to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is our capital city of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. It is a very lively and vibrant city. It's world-famous cultural heritage, internationally recognized scientific and commercial center. You will find here good food, excellent shopping, and many, many students, Dutch as well as international. In Amsterdam only, we have 2 research universities as well as 6 universities of applied sciences. English is widely spoken, not only here at our university, but in the city as well as in the whole of the country. We are also 4th safest city in the world, and very proud of that. So VU Amsterdam, or Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam, scores in rankings as well. So we would like to share with you a couple of them that you can see here in the slide. For instance, the world ranking, we are number 160, and in the Shanghai ranking, 131 of the best universities in the world. Some facts and figures. Diversity is extremely important to us. At this moment, we have over 26,000 students, and out of those, we have 16% of international students coming from 122 different countries. We are offering around or more than 150 programs taught in English, and all of our programs are offered by 8 different faculties. We are the 2nd university worldwide to combat the climate change. So some subject areas that we offer here, or actually those are also the faculties. You will find here programs with the faculty of, or the School of Business Economics, programs like marketing, business administration, programs within the Faculty of Science, like computer science, artificial intelligence, behavioral and movement sciences. You will find programs like psychology, religion and theology. Social sciences, you will find programs like political science, humanities, of course, arts and culture, medical sciences, and faculty of law. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm here together with a team of 20 international student advisors, and here you see pictures and names of those who are responsible for the master programs. When you apply at our university, you will right away be contacted by an international student advisor, and he or she will guide you from the very beginning until the moment that you arrive in Amsterdam, hopefully in September or in August, to start with your program. So whenever you have any questions, you will know exactly who the person is to whom you can address your question. And we are also very proud of the fact that very often, if not always, we're able to answer your question within 48 hours. So now let us talk a little bit about the admission requirements and application deadlines. In order to be admitted to one of our master programs, of course, you need to have finished a bachelor's degree in a relevant field, if possible, or you must finish it before you start with the program here. We are also asking of you to present us with a English language test results. We are mentioning here 2. IELTS, you have to present at least an overall score of 6.5. And for TOEFL, internet-based program test, a minimum score of 92. Please do mind that some of the programs have higher requirements, which then will be IELTS 7.0 and TOEFL it will be 100. Application deadlines. Our application system is already open from 1st of October last year for the academic year 2021-2022, and we have some different deadlines. First deadline is approaching soon, which is the deadline of 1st of February for students who are also applying for one of our scholarships, fellowship program. This means that this deadline for scholarship is also the deadline for the program that you're applying. So you have to apply before 1st of September for the program, submit all the documents, as well as for the scholarship. If you are not applying for scholarship and you are one of the students who is in need of visa, which means you are applying from a non-EU country, the deadline is 1st of April. If you are from EU country and you're also applying for the housing, we would also like to urge you to apply before 1st of April. Otherwise, all students from the European Union or the European Economic Area can apply before 1st of June. As I mentioned, students from outside the European Union also have to apply for visa and the residence permit. You have to do this before, you have to apply for the program before 1st of April, and then you will have to apply for your visa and housing before 1st of June. You will have to upload certain documents, as well as you will have to pay an immigration fee of 250 euros. Please do always read our website carefully. Everything that you need to know in detail, you will be able to find on our website. Also, we are having our master event that's approaching on Saturday, 6th of March from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Amsterdam time. If you would like to come and visit us, please do so. Everything will be online, and you can register on our website via vu.nl/master event. Please write it down. Here you will be able to meet our programs, our professors, as well as current students. You will be able to ask questions, the practical ones, but mostly and especially also about the program that you might be interested in to apply for, or even if you have applied, and if you've been admitted, you'll be able to meet a professor and some other academic staff that will be giving presentations about, among others, the program itself. So if you have some time, please do join us and please do register before. Now, how to apply? In the Netherlands, regardless for which university you are applying, we have a national website, which is called StudyLink. This is your first point. You will have to go to StudyLink. You will have to provide some personal information there and register. And there in StudyLink, you will also be able to choose the university you are applying for, in this case, Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam or VU University Amsterdam, after which you will receive an account for our own student portal. And there, within 24 hours, it will be activated. You will be asked to upload certain documents there. So first, start the application in StudyLink always. Do not email us your documents, please, because that's not possible to apply via email. After applying StudyLink, complete the application in VNet, which is the student portal. After submitting all the documents, you will be asked to pay application fee of €100. And after you've done all of this, your file will be completed. You will receive an email about it from our international support assistant that your file is complete. And then the only thing it rests you to do is wait for the admission decision, which always takes place between 1 week and 6 weeks. The earliest 1 week, and hopefully never longer than 6 weeks. There again, everything in detail, vu.nl/application. Preparations. We always say you can never be prepared enough. So please do check our website, read about the accommodation, start reading information early, especially when it comes down to accommodation. My colleague will be telling you more about this. Amsterdam is a small city and it's quite difficult to find something. So if we can help in that sense, we will be more than happy to do so. The same goes for visa application procedure. Everything takes place via the international office. So do not go to the embassy and start applying yourself. We will apply on your behalf. Again, we are here, international student advisors, as well as our colleague from the Student Immigrations Office, as well as the Accommodation Office, to answer all your questions. And of course, today we are here, so please do pose your questions later on, or as I'm speaking now and my colleagues later on, do pose your questions via chat or the Q&A. Housing services in Amsterdam, my colleague Claire will be talking about this more. However, here's some short information. You will be able to apply for housing only after you have been conditionally admitted to a program. Conditional admission very often means that we still have to receive a certified copy of your diploma and or English language test results. But please be aware that only after you have been admitted conditionally will you be able to start applying for housing as well, if applies to you for a visa. We do require a housing fee of €500, and the rental prices for the rooms that we are offering here on campus or one of other locations described below here, the prices are between €350 and €900. So I think something is not completely going well with my slides. I apologize for this. I think those slides are for my colleague Claire. So please allow me to give it to Claire, and Claire, perhaps you would like to take it back from the slide that I just shortly described. Thank you, everyone, and you will hear from me later on.
No problem, Stivo. Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Okay, I'll tell you a bit more about housing. We have a limited number of rooms in Amsterdam, so it's important that you apply as soon as you can, as soon as you are admitted for your study program. And when you apply for housing, you go to VNet, and then you are asked to look at the 3 budget categories. This is only an indication for us. Later on in the year, around April, May, you will choose your own room in an online booking system. So it's important to apply as soon as you can, as soon as you're admitted. Then we put on a list, and in April, May, we will contact you again, and then you can choose your own room in our online booking system. I think Stipo mentioned most of the information, but we have several options to choose from. So you can choose for a room with shared facilities, which is the cheapest, around 350 and more. And if you want to go for a studio with your own facilities, so you would have your own kitchen and your own bathroom, then it would of course be more expensive. We have different locations within Amsterdam. So you can also look at our website, vu.nl/accommodation, and you will find all the options. It's divided over Amsterdam. What we have is the biggest one is Uilenstede campus, where a lot of students stay because it's close to the university. And we do have like cheap offers. Of course, you can ask any other questions about housing later on. Okay, what is important that our accommodation is assigned based on a first served system. So people on the top of our list are the first to choose the room. Our deadline for canceling your housing application without cost is the 1st of July. So let's say you have chosen a room already before the 1st of July, but for whatever reason you have to cancel it. That's still fine as long as you do it before the 1st of July. I already mentioned, so if you need more information, just look at our website, vu.nl/accommodation. Now the next speaker is Agnieszka, and she will tell you more about scholarships.
Yes, thank you, Claire. So I will tell you briefly about all the scholarships we have available. So there are many options for you, for international master students. Just to mention some of them, we have VU Fellowship Program. We also have Holland Scholarship Program. We have Orange Tulip Scholarship, Fulbright Student, and actually many more. So you're welcome to have a look at our website, and there you will find all the information about eligibility criteria, also application process, deadlines, everything you need. But today we'll concentrate mainly on a VU Fellowship Program. So in a nutshell, it is a highly selective scholarship for students with excellent study results. It's meant for first-year students applying for master program. And it is a tuition fee waiver, so basically it will cover 100% of your tuition fees. And the application deadline is 1st of February, so still you have a couple of weeks to apply. So eligibility criteria. There are 4. The most important one is, of course, GPA. So we expect you to have at least 80% of the mark. And of course, the grading scales are different across different countries. So you just need to send us your GPA proof or your program transcript, and we'll try to figure out if that's actually sufficient. So to give you an example, if it's a grading scale from 0 to 10, then you need to have at least 8 to qualify. But then again, of course, we'll just review your documentation to see if you're eligible. So that's the first criteria, most important one. Then what more? So basically, you need to be applying for the first year of a full-time English taught program. You cannot have Dutch nationality, and then also the diploma you're using for your application cannot be obtained in the Netherlands. And maybe important to mention, so this means that if you have already completed your bachelor's program at VU or other university in the Netherlands, then unfortunately you're not eligible for that. And then, so basically, sorry, I'm seeing some messages that my sound is not good. We'll try to do something about it. Okay, well, I hope you can still follow me. I'm sorry if it's not ideal. Okay, so application process for VU Fellowship Program. it's quite simple. You need to apply in VUNet, which is our student portal. First, you apply for your master program, and then you should be able to see the scholarship option automatically in your VUNet. And then all you need to do is to upload some documentation. So CV, GPA proof or program transcript, and motivation letter. In a motivation letter, it's important that you keep it short, that you answer 3 questions that we also have on our website. So the first one is why you want to study this specific master program. The second question is what are your future goals? And the last question is why do you think that you deserve to be awarded through FPA a scholarship? So that's all you need in order to apply. So those 3 documents. And now Holland Scholarship Program. So for many of you, you will apply for both VU Fellowship Program as well as Holland Scholarship Program. It's basically meant for students from outside European Economic Area who also want to follow the first year master's program taught in English. And it's actually standard 5,000 euros, and it's not a contribution towards the living cost. So it's a nice package really, together with VU FPA, which is tuition fee waiver. And again, what's important here, so it's a contribution towards the living cost, and this means that you still will need some your own money. 5,000 will not be enough for you to live in Amsterdam for 1 year. So that's something really important to keep in mind. This amount will help you, but it will not be enough for you. Application deadline is also 1st of February, so it's the same as for the VU Fellowship Program. And what's more? Okay, so some more information. So as I said, it's only for students from outside European Economic Area. For first year master students, non-Dutch diploma, non-Dutch nationality, so it's basically the same as for the VU Fellowship Program. It's important to keep in mind that you really have to apply for VU Fellowship Program as well, as we'll award Holland Scholarship Program only to those of you who applied also for the first scholarship. And as for the application process itself, it's also similar to FPA. It's also all in VUNet. So once you apply for the master's program, you will be able to see that you can apply for both VU Fellowship Program as well as for Holland Scholarship Program. And again, of course, all of this is on our website and many more information, so just have a look. And if you have some more questions, just please free to let us know. So we are here to help. So that's all from me. And now I will hand it over to Emma, so she will share some experience with you, student point of view really. So I hope you will enjoy it.
So thank you, Agnieszka. So for the ones who just joined, I am Emma, and I'm an international student at the VU since August 2020. And I study my master's here in work and organizational psychology. And today I just will give you a little insight in what brought me to VU Amsterdam and why I enjoy studying here so much. So yeah, first go with why I chose to study at the VU. First of all, at the VU we have a real connection to our lecturers. So even in times like these, I always feel like it's very great kind of teaching, very student-centered. You always feel welcome, and you can always come to your lecturers with any concern or question that you have, even besides their courses they give, and they will always be happy to help you out and support you in any possible way. Second, we already heard about the high quality education at VU, and for me it was very important that the university I study my master's at will offer me a high quality education and a high educational system, which is definitely given in the Netherlands in general. And my master studies at the VU are very intense and demanding, but I have the feeling that even though it's very demanding, it's perfectly balanced, and it makes me learn a lot, not only the study material, but also about myself. And the VU offers me the quality that I expected. And by this, it prepares me for an academic, but also for a practical career very, very good. So as we're speaking of career and career opportunities, that was another point that made me choose VU for my further education, as I would love to follow a PhD program after my master's. I want to get prepared for this academic path, but also for the real working world, because I wanted to follow my master's with a PhD, but work in a firm afterwards. And my study program of the Work and Organization of Psychology very well equips me for this kind of future I'm planning. I think there's not as much left to say. You already heard about the great diversity and amount of internationals at the VU, so I can just underline how great that is. And not only can you find friends from all over the world, but you're also very well connected to an international academic field. And let's come to one thing that is very, very important to me. It's the communication between university and the students. So even though it's a difficult time for everybody right now, and I knew that when I was coming to VU, as the situation was kind of the same and already existed when I applied and moved here to Amsterdam, I did never have the feeling that the communication between the university and me as a student somehow suffered from that. Even before my final admission, I had always the chance to reach out to someone, to have calls with the international office, to write emails and get, as Stipo already said, really fast responses. So you always have someone that you can talk to and you can go to. And yes, so as I already mentioned, also the communication between us students and the lecturers is very great. I also talked to some colleagues before, and they told me how unusual it is to get the kind of feedback that we get here at VU for our work. And I just wanted to mention this here because I know that feedback is important for all of us as we want to do how we're doing. And this is very well given at the VU. So the lecturers are always giving you great feedback. And this is what I really wanted to emphasize, as I had the impression that this is very important for many people. Well, we also heard that English is widely spoken in Amsterdam and in the Netherlands in general. And I never visited a country, of course, excluding native countries, before where English was so widely spoken. It makes life a lot easier. And especially when you first move here, I can imagine that this will make you feel comfortable if you know wherever you go, the people will understand you. But also keep in mind that in Amsterdam and also at the VU, there are great offers to study and to learn some Dutch language as well. So I'm about to join one course at the VU from February on. Going to capital city life, we already heard some facts about Amsterdam, about its safety and so on. And I think everybody knows the city, even if you maybe not have been to Amsterdam before. At this moment, life is different, of course, also here, but living here is still great, and I will come back to this on the next slide. But last but not least, the ultimate reason for me to decide to go to the VU was the smell of the place. So I also had some other good offers from other universities, but I decided to go to the VU as I really had a good gut feeling about that. The VU is very warm and welcoming and friendly, and that is, I guess, at the end of the day, the main reason that I decided to come here. So, as I said, I'm coming back to why studying in Amsterdam is great, even in difficult times. I wanted to emphasize this a little bit, as I know that some colleagues or some people that applied last year and got admitted, they deferred their studies. So I wanted to tell you guys why I'm really happy that I did not do this. So as I got the admission, I was sure that I will do it 2020 and will not defer my studies until 2021. And I moved to Amsterdam at the end of August. I live here together with my boyfriend in a student accommodation, which we applied for at the VU, and we could definitely not be happier. I'm not gonna lie, living in Amsterdam is not the cheapest, but it's definitely worth it. It's some kind of cozy and warm vibe, even in current cold winter times. I think most of us will know what I'm talking about. And simply strolling through neighborhood is an adventure. Even if shops are closed and not many people are on the street, it's kind of an adventure. And one thing I also wanted to mention is I think this makes the whole situation a lot more easy, is that people are always friendly and polite. I have the feeling that this helps you very much coping with everything as it is right now. And also, as I mentioned, I never met someone who did not speak English, but not only do the people speak to you, but you have the feeling that everybody here is like very polite, friendly, and open-minded. So while studying at the VU is great, even in difficult times, I will not repeat everything that I just said on the last slide, but I wanted to give you as a takeaway message that if you decide to study here, you will definitely benefit from the organization, the communication, and the support that VU offers you. And most important for me is that at a university, you are one piece of a large puzzle, and this feeling of cohesion and community is really what makes studying so special.
Nice to meet you. And if you are currently thinking about studying at the VU Amsterdam, this is my advice for you. If you have any additional questions after this presentation, don't hesitate to contact me. What is my advice for you? First and most important is think about what you really want to study. What is it that you want to do for a living afterwards? Sit down and think about this close. What helped me a lot was talking to other people. So I joined some Facebook groups and tried to find people who already studied at the VU and who could maybe tell me their personal experiences with the course of study that I wanted to do. If you did that, and if you talked to other people, to other students, to your friends and family, and you're sure that this is the right course of study for you, you can go to the VU website and see all of the requirements that you have to fulfill in order to apply for this. The most important tips is start your application well in advance. As you maybe need a lot of documents to upload at the VUNet, you should plan in some time in order to prepare them and finish them to upload. Think about which housing is the one that suits you best. A shared flat, an apartment for your own, or a student accommodation. If you go for the student accommodation just like I did, make sure you apply for housing right in time, as it's first come, first serve. Question that I receive a lot is a job possible? Can you have a job aside? And I think that this is a very personal thing. For my studies, also as it's a one-year master program, which is very intense, a job would not have been possible. One last tip, and maybe one of the most important ones, is please make use of the Facebook groups that exist, and please make use of the Facebook group that VU invites you as soon as you get admitted. This way you can find friends easily and connect with every other student of the VU. If you, just like I, maybe apply to some other universities besides VU as well, and you get admitted to all of them, or a few, this is what you can ask yourself. Is this what I want? Can this university support my goals? Am I ready to live the life that this would bring? And which feeling do I? At the end of the day, what is right for you will come for you, and I can just give you the advice. Listen to your heart, and I hope that we can welcome you soon at the VU as well.
Thank you so much, Emma. for your story. Yes, thank you so much again, Emma, for your story and for sharing the video and all the tips. It is always great to hear from our own students. So before I go to the contact page, or I'm there already, I would also like to tell you that on our website you will find over 100 international student ambassadors, such as Emma is as well. So perhaps you would like to contact someone from your own country, or specifically someone from the program that you are interested in. So please do that, send them a direct email and ask all the questions that you might have. Otherwise, you can always, of course, send an email to us via international@vu.nl, or follow our VU Amsterdam page on Facebook and or Instagram as well. Of course, you can always ask your questions to international student advisors, or address your questions, I should say, and you can find them on the website as well. About scholarships, emails can be sent to vufb@vu.nl, VUFB, or hsb@vu.nl. I would like to mention that our website is really the best source of information, so please do visit www.vu.nl. And from there, if you go to English pages, you will be able to find, hopefully, everything you need. And otherwise, there again, you can contact us. I'm able to see that we have lots and lots of questions. So my colleagues in the Q&A are doing their best to give you answers as soon as possible. And we will also now address some questions live. Luke.
Yes, indeed, Tipo. Thanks for pointing that out. Indeed, now we go to the live Q&A part. As mentioned, a lot of questions have already been answered, especially personal situation ones. I will not repeat those, but we try to pick out some that it's also interesting to the others, for other people possibly to know, and especially on the topic of today's webinar, visa, housing, admissions, and more. So let's start with visa, the visa situation. There's a question from Yahaya, and he's asking, when is the best time to start my visa application, and how much will it cost me? Stipo.
Thank you for that question that I will address myself. So as I stated in the very beginning, you will only be able to start the application after you have been admitted conditionally. So coming from non-European country, you have the deadline until 1st of April, except if you're applying, of course, for the scholarship, which then will be 1st of February. But back to your question, it will be open after the 1st of April, but actually even later, because the documents that you are submitting are not to be older than 3 months. So Agnieszka, perhaps you will correct me if I'm wrong, applying for the visa is best to start from 1st of June. But you can submit all the documents earlier, of course, but you should be aware that the documents are not to be older than 3 months. Thank you for that question.
Thank you for the answer. I don't know if Agnieszka wanted to add something, or that is already now taken care of.
I think, yeah, the answer was completed correct, yes. I have
Thank you.
that.
I think I should also add, Luke, maybe that you will also receive automatically emails from us when the time is there. So don't worry, we will not forget to start the application of the visa.
Perfect. Thank you, Stipo. And good. Next question about the visa is it possible to come with a family member? Elena asks, if I get my own student visa.
Yes, sorry, this is possible. In this case, indeed, do also mind the fact that finding housing might be a bit challenging, especially if you have a family, a partner and perhaps kids, but this is indeed possible, yes.
Great. Now, you mentioned housing, next topic. We'd like to know a bit more about housing. There were some questions coming in. Simona was asking, when can I apply for the accommodation for the winter semester?
That is a good question. Winter semester, so it means you would like to start in the second semester, which is from 1st of February. In this case, actually, you can apply again right away after the conditional admission. So For the winter semester, you can apply, of course, this is the longer stretch, the period that you are able to apply. But after getting admitted, you can right away start with the application for housing. Claire, perhaps you can clarify or correct me if I'm wrong there again.
No, that's correct, Stefan.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question, please, Luke.
Another question on housing from Sophia. I've been conditionally admitted to one of the master programs and I need to pay the housing fee of $500, it says. I'm not sure, dollar or euro. If I change my mind before July 1st and I don't want to book a room, is it possible still to get a refund or how does this work?
I can answer this briefly, yes. Sorry, Claire, maybe you can take it. Yeah, please go, Claire.
Yes. The deadline is 1st of July. So whatever reason you need to cancel, it's fine. And we will give you the refund of €500. So no worries.
Okay, I hope that answered that question. Question from Amir. Are international students able to apply for the rent benefit? In Dutch, for our speaker presenters, it's a huurtoeslag, to aid with the housing costs. Is it possible for international students?
Yes, it is. And then again, I will ask Claire if you can elaborate a bit more, Claire.
Yes, it is possible to apply for housing allowance, but it really depends on what kind of accommodation you choose. So not all rooms are, it's not possible for all rooms to apply for housing allowance. For example, if you have a studio at the VIS and you are above 23, you can apply for housing allowance. So you really have to look into it. So it's different per location and also different. It depends also on your age and your personal situation. So it's a difficult question to really answer. But on our website, there's also a whole document about housing allowance, and it explains more.
Okay. Question from Morlu. Is the housing rental presented per month or per year, per annual?
Yes, you will receive an invoice per month, so you will pay rent monthly.
Okay, great, thank you, Claire. Hanita is asking, in terms of possible benefits like a scholarship, does it also cover housing? Are there options like that? I don't know if Claire knows that or somebody else.
I can answer, that's fine, Luke, thank you. And so, no, we have two scholarships, as Agnieszka explained. The VUFP scholarship is covering your tuition fee. And the second one is the Holland Scholarship Program, which is an allowance of €5,000. So in that sense, if you would apply also and receive the Holland Scholarship Program, which is only for the non-EU candidates, then, of course, you receive this money into your account and you can spend it as to your liking. So you can also, of course, pay the rent from it.
Great. Thank you. All right, that brings us to the topic of scholarships. There were a couple of questions on that. Lucia is asking, which scholarships can I apply for if I don't have an outstanding GPA and I'm an international student?
Okay, thank you for the question. So, well, actually, it's quite difficult to say because most of our scholarships are actually merit-based. So, VU Fellowship Program is merit-based, and it goes together with Holland Scholarship Program. The same goes for Fulbright student. To be honest, I think that actually all of our scholarship programs are based on your study results. But of course, you can also email us afterwards, and we'll get back to you on this question, just to make sure.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. The questions are captured, by the way, so the staff members can come back to you. All questions, for that matter, all of you. If you don't get your question answered today, don't worry. They are all captured, and will be the staff of VU Amsterdam will be coming back to you. Regarding scholarship, Swamendu was asking, can I apply for multiple scholarships as I'm not sure where I would be fitting in?
Yes, so well, definitely the scholarship program is possible, and then again combined with the Holland scholarship program. For some of our students, depends on your nationality, it may be also possible to apply for Orange Tulip Scholarship, so OTS. So yes, answering your question, you can apply for multiple scholarships. But then for some of them, the eligibility criteria are actually similar. So yes, chances are that if you get declined for one, you may also get declined for another one. But again, just try and then we'll review your application in detail.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yu Heng was asking, I was wondering about the motivation letter for the scholarship. Is it the same one as for the master program in general, or should I submit two separate motivation letters?
Definitely a separate ones, so they serve a different purpose. In your scholarship motivation letter, you need to answer those 3 questions I have mentioned. So it cannot be the same motivation letter. If you submit the same one, we'll actually get back to you asking for to submit another one. So please don't do that. Save yourself time.
Okay, thank you. All right. I hope that answered most of the scholarship questions. Moving on to the next topic, a bit of the general requirements. Daria, for example, is asking, do I need a reference letter from professor supervisors if I want to apply? It seems now it's not needed anymore. Is that correct?
Thank you for that question, Daria. This really depends on the program you have applied for. Some programs require 2, some require 1, some require none. So if you're applying, for instance, for a program at Faculty of Law or at School of Business Economics, it could be that you are not required to upload any of those letters. If you are not requested to do that on the website as well as in the student portal, then you are fine. You do not have to submit that document. That is not the part of your file, application file.
Okay. Thank you, Stipo. Next question from Lucia. Does my thesis summary have to be translated by an official translator?
That is a very good question. Thank you. No, it does not. So if your thesis, and probably it is written in your native language, and that is not English, we ask of you to please translate it yourself to make it abstract. And it always helps us if you also translate 3 to 5 pages. There again, also please double check the program page. It might be more or less, but no, it never has to be translated by an official translator. It has to be translated by yourself. That is fine and sufficient. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Caroline is asking, what is the timeline of admissions process? I don't know if this was dealt with in the presentation maybe already, but maybe a brief answer to the timeline of the admission process.
Right. Yes, thank you for that question. Of course, so you can apply as of October, so as of today for the program. After applying in StudyLink, you will right away receive an account for student portal of the university, which is called the VU Net. And then, of course, it's up to you how long it takes you to submit all the documents. But after you have submitted all the documents and paid the application fee of €100, that is when we will start with assessment of your file. And it depends per faculty and per program, but it is a minimum of 1 week to receive the decision, up to maximum of 6 weeks.
Okay. Thank you. Caroline is asking, what parts of the application are most heavily weighted in the admission process?
This is really not the case how we or the admission board looks into your admission file. It is really the combination of all the documents, starting, of course, with your previous education, and then, of course, with your transcript of records, meaning the courses taken, the relevant courses for that program, and then going on to the rest of the documents. But it is not like, well, this is actually my answer. It is really the combination, starting with previous education, and then your curriculum, and so on. And maybe, look, I can add, of course,
Sure.
it depends if your program is a selective program, but this then in that case will be stressed very, very clearly on the website what the selection criteria are.
Okay, thank you. Next question, a bit about the status of today online, and most classes are online. Sophia is asking, I would like to know, ask if it's known for 2021-22, if there's anything clear, and I think some more people were wondering about September, the upcoming semester as well, then if classes are online or not. Is there anything you can say about it or direct them towards?
Well, yes, I can definitely say something about it. Of course, we are living in a world today that can be very different tomorrow and next week. But as everywhere else, we are hoping that the situation will go back to normal, whatever that new normal will be from 1st of September. So yes, from 1st of September 2021, we are expecting to go back to new normal. And the new normal will most probably be on campus. But also, I think we have learned a lot last year. We will also try to offer some things online as well. But we are hoping from 1st of September there again to go back to the new normal. This will be published on our website as well as soon as possible, and hopefully after April more will be known. But yeah, we are hoping that situation will be much, much better than it is today in the rest of the world as well as in the Netherlands. Thank you.
Okay. Question from Milan. What requirements are needed to get the admissions?
So there again, this is really depends per program, but the basics are for each of our master's programs. Of course, you need to have a bachelor's degree that is equivalent to a bachelor's degree from a research university in the Netherlands. And then for some programs, of course, it has to be in line with the master's program. For instance, if you're applying for theology program, religious study and theology, we are hoping that you have a bachelor's degree in religious studies and theology or similar. So it could also be, for instance, philosophy, but then we are looking into your curriculum. And there again, everything is and should be very clear on each of the program's pages. For instance, if you're applying for Masters of Marketing, one of the things that is very important is the program SPSS, and this should be something that you have been taking in your last or previous year of your bachelor's program. But bachelor's degree is that is equivalent to a Dutch one is, of course, the starting point. Thank you.
Thank you, Stipo. Great. Question from Johanna. Can I actually apply to more than one master program at the VU?
Yes, Johanna, thank you for that question. You can apply up to 4 programs at the VU University. Please do take care of having separate motivation letters as well for each of the programs. And maybe it's good to tell as well that you have to pay the 100 application fee, and you only have to pay that once, and that you don't have to pay for each of the programs 100 euro. So up to 4 programs.
Okay, thank you very much. I see there are many more questions that have come in, and the Q&A team is very busy answering already a lot of them to you. So I hope some of those will be answered in the session. But again, don't worry if they are not answered right now. They will be able to come back to you later. Before we go to the last couple of questions for today, actually we have 2 questions for you. So I want to make sure we get a little bit of feedback from you as well. So we'd like to know from you, when would you like to start? So what currently are you considering? Are you still considering February or looking at September this year or later than that? Or you're even not sure yet? Where are you currently about the starting time? We'd like to hear from everybody. Thanks to let us know, both live and audience, and also the people that are watching the recording. You can join in as well. Okay, so let's open for another 5-10 seconds. Okay. Next question, does this make you more interested in the VU Amsterdam? So does this session help you? Basically, did it help you in considering to apply? Please let us know how we did. Was it useful to you? Did it make you more interested? Yes, no, or somewhat. We appreciate that. And in the meantime, we'll check in on a couple of last questions. We're getting a lot of thank yous. That is great to see. Yeah, I think most questions have been answered. Yeah, maybe a question about from Carolyn. If people are not accepted, can they reapply? Maybe a semester or a year later?
Yes, of course they can. I mean, if nothing changes in your situation, in that sense, you have to weigh very carefully why you have been rejected. But let's say you've been rejected because of lacking one of the courses, or as I mentioned, for instance, for the marketing SPSS, and you are able to gain that knowledge within 6 months and then reapply again, of course you can. But do always be advised by your international student advisor if it's worth it. But yes, you can reapply each year. There is no any issue in that.
Okay. A bit about the validity of the programs. If you're from another country, Elisa is wondering, how do I know if my program, my diploma, sorry, is valid in the Netherlands? Is there any source for that?
Well, I think you don't mean if it's valid, you mean if it's equivalent probably to a bachelor's degree in the Netherlands. That is something, well, there's a couple of ways. You can email your international student advisor for a brief pre-assessment. We would be happy to do that for you. So you can only email your diploma or the name of the degree and transcript of records. So we will be able to tell you. Otherwise, you can also check the website of NUFFIC. That is NUFFIC.nl, which is the national organization here in the Netherlands. And you'll be able there to find your own country module and see which diploma we are asking, which diploma is equivalent to our own bachelor's here. That is my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. I hope that helped. And with that, I also like to mention that there are a lot of resources, as mentioned, on the screen. On the right top, you find this resource list. So there you see links to visa, housing, scholarships, how to apply as well. So this is a good time to click on some of those if you want to find out more. So check that out because we're coming to the end of this session. There you find more information about those topics. And again, we'll still be able to deal with your questions afterwards, and they will be sent to the staff. From my end, as I still see some questions coming in and the team is busy, we stopped the live Q&A part here. From my end, I'd like to thank everybody for joining. We had a lot of people joining in live from different parts of the world. Great to see. We hope some of you, of course, end up in Amsterdam and in the coming year, and that things are back to the new normal for you as well. And of course, also thank you to the speakers. I'd like to thank everybody, Emma, Claire, Agnieszka, and Stipo, all of you for your time and your good presentations and clarifying things up for the audience. We appreciate that. And last word maybe over to you, to Stipo, before we end the session of today.
Thank you so much, Luke, and thank you everyone else there again. But thank you, especially you, for showing interest in Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. We hope you will reach out if you have any questions, doubts. Also, if you apply, do not hesitate, even if you get admitted. If you have any doubts, do reach out, and we are really here for you. So I wish you luck and success, and thank you once again.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.